Cari amici, we got a full house in here. We even got Tommy to join. And gentlemen, this is a special group therapy session. As you can see, to my left, we have, he is a garden snake. It's okay. He's a friend of ours. This is a happy place. We're gonna get to ask questions to our friend Nima, Rock Nation Husney, directly from Saudi Arabia, Simon from Switzerland, Timmy from Toronto, Fabio's still celebrating the Scudetto, Nima, as you can see. Gio is he's at work, but he doesn't care. Tommy Time is here. Guys, welcome.
I'm
What
only
a
gonna
day.
be here for 10 minutes because I gotta drill. I gotta bounce,
Okay,
You
let
and
gotta
him
I'm
you,
talk
not. And
about
I'm
you
not a
guys.
happy camper. I'm not a happy camper.
we're gonna obviously we're gonna get to hear from you, but
And I
guys,
think, and I can understand Tommy's anger because this circus is
it's you
not
know what
worthy of Milan.
it is a whole circus, and let's start off by welcoming our newest therapy member because he needs the circle of of calmness and everything, because even though we got Mercato Madness, Nima, for people that don't know you, other than the founder of sempreinter.com and
Mm.
our friendly garden snake, who are you? What do you do?
Yeah,
And
who the
other
hell
than
am I?
loving Inter?
Who the hell am I? No, I'm a guy was born in Iran, raised in Sweden. Work as an Italian football journalist, covering Italian football for 10 years. Started Sempre Inter 10 years ago. I'm one third of the Italian football podcast. I've written for Goal in the past, done exclusive for them, Forza Italian Football, Football Italia. I was part of the Di Marzio Mercato team a million years ago. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Pretty much
Crash course.
it. And welcome to Daniel too from newest club, Milan Club, Cleveland. And guys, I just wanted to let you know, Nima, when invited him over, right? And I love Nima because I even discovered, Nima, that you have quite the haters on Twitter. So you need this therapy as much as all of us. But this is what
No,
Nima's. No,
I'm good.
you're good.
I look. Here's the thing with Twitter. I think Twitter is just such a goddamn circus that for me, it's just a source of entertainment. It
Twitter's a
literally is.
cancer.
It's just entertainment. I mean, the kind of shit you hear there on a daily basis, like, how is this app free? It's like, how do I not pay
it,
for
it
this?
is it is entertainment, but guys, this is what he sent me. He sent me this right over here saying elderly man robbed while using ATM in Chinatown, Toronto police. This is like, he's like,
Guys,
he goes, I
guys,
guess, he goes,
this
this
is
is
not
how
a
you're
good look.
getting your transfer market news,
No,
by Emirates.
didn't I say something along the lines of I see
Thank God I'm
Jerry
fat.
Cardinales.
Cardinales fundraising in New York is going well or something.
Yes, but this is from Timmy's town.
You leave New York
Like
alone.
I said, look, like I said, I go, thank God I'm fat because I would have been the first suspect. And then I dug a little deeper and I said, who the hell is number 5? And then it's Baloture. And I'm like, wait a second, who buys a Baloture jersey? First off. Then I saw the jersey was from a couple years back, 2 years ago. So then I was like, oh, it was Diego Dalot. Yeah, he's a Portuguese guy. For sure. Only a Portuguese guy would wear a Diogo
Only a
Dalot.
Portuguese, but this is all about the friendly banter. But let's begin. I want to ask you guys, like, let's ask Nima first. As an Interista, this whole Maldini saga
Mm.
that was coming on, I was telling the guys before, for the guys that didn't know you, we do have our friendly banter, you and I,
Yeah.
or whatever with Steve. But as an Interista, looking at this, did you ever believe that they weren't going to sign? Are you surprised by the news of Maldini saying that they're signing today with Masada? How did you take this news? Or
No,
if you have to
I'm not.
speak as Interistas?
I'm not. Well, I don't want to speak as an Interista. I want to. I mean, for the way I see it is this. I think that, look, the league needs a strong Milan. The league needs a strong Inter. The last decade has shown that when these two clubs are weak, Italian football is weak. Inter and Milan are needed for Italian football at national team level as well as club level, and the league's appeal. We need these teams to be strong and to compete. That's the first thing. So I do want a strong Milan, and that I think. I mean, when they took over Masara and Maldini, I really like what they did 2 seasons ago in the summer, and I like what I saw. And I think what they've done is since then is just play everything right. Yes, they've had to inherit a lot of mess that they had to clean up from Fasone and that whole thing and everything before that preceded that and superseded that. So the way I see it is this situation was just so damn unnecessary. There was no need for it. They could have resolved this months ago. Even if Redbird are supposed to be a partner, they're not a new owner, whatever you want to say, because that's how it looks to me. Regardless, Masara and Maldini's situation should never have come to the last day of their contract. Like, this has never happened before. This is Milan, for crying out loud. What the hell are you doing that it took you to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on this CET in Italy time before you extended the contract of your technical director and sporting director? It's incredibly clumsy.
I think a lot of us that never doubted they were going to sign, but I hear your side. It's like, why did it have to wait for the 30th? Tommy, you know what? I'm going to give you first dibs because you say that you have to leave in 10 minutes. Sorry,
it's just that I read this from an Italian newspaper. Apparently, the reason why is that Elliot still hasn't forgiven Maldini for letting key players go without making a dime.
Then again, it is a lot of
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
But
Donnarumma left, Hakan left, but he was bidon anyways. And today even Kessie left. And they didn't make a dime on them. I mean, look, Inter, whether you like to admit it or not, they did great. Last year they let Lukaku go. They made 110 million, and today they got it back for zero. Now those are good deals. You get a player back, you don't spend a dime. You pay a hell of a player back, and you're only paying his salary. Now those are good deals. Zero.
Oh, Tommy, you're freezing. But you know what? To throw this to Nima. I know, talking about this big Rom deal, they sold him 10 million for the, I believe, the obligo. I don't know if it's do you have any details about?
Yeah, no. They last summer they sold him for about 150 million euros. This time around, they took him for 8 million euro loan fee, with no option. So
there you go.
So it's 8 million euros. And 4 million in add-ons, bonuses, which are tied to if Inter win the Scudetto or not. So in total, he would cost 12 million euros in the loan fee. His wages will cost Inter 12 million euros in total for the whole year with Decreta Crescita, the growth decree. That because he's making 8.9, something like that, net.
Marotta he's not stupid. Let me tell you something. He knows how to do the job well. I really wished that Maldini should have had somebody like Galliani next to him for at least 2-3 years, and he could have taught him the way to really go and do business. Because Galliani era un volpone del mercato. And believe me, if Maldini and Masara weren't going to sign, I was going to become un tifoso del Monza.
So there we go to Tommy. But okay, so let's go one by one, guys. If you have questions for Nima, Simon, you're very close to Sweden. I don't know if you've heard of Nima, but do you have any question for him? Would it be Milan, Inter? And you know what I see as Lukaku coming back to Inter is just good for Serie A. Let's have a great competition in Serie A. From all these news that we've been getting about TV deals and all that stuff. But Simon, what do you have to say? It's time. Talk about your feelings.
Well, I agree that the Lukaku deal seems to be good for Inter. When I make the calculations, they pay like 22 millions for 1 year. They have to send him back maybe next year. Maybe they buy him. We'll see. But I'm sure he's good for Serie A. He's good for Inter for sure. And it just levels up the game in total. And I'm excited to see him. And we just have to do our thing. I think Milan has to get their game on now, starting tomorrow. And we have to get our own players. Inter and Juve, they have their own strategy. I'm glad we have our own with different kind of players that we're looking for. More long-term, maybe.
Yeah.
So it will be excited. And yes, I've been to Sweden. I got my VW bus stolen in Gothenburg 15 years
city.
ago.
Good,
so I have
city.
good
That's
memories.
I'm glad we made you feel welcome by stealing your car. When you were in my
Yes.
city.
After 8 weeks, I had to turn around and go back home. And yes.
So you see, everybody, guys, we're sharing our stories. This is a great therapy session so far. How about you, Timmy? Any thoughts or some questions for our new member of
Here's a question. Here's just a generalized question. Why can't fucking Milan get any deals like this?
Well, I like that. I like that you brought that up because I think yes, now today, okay, Maldini and Masara just confirmed they're extended. We yet to, we don't know. As just before I came on, I looked and I couldn't find any confirmation as to how long they've extended for. But then I look at, okay, it's an unnecessary situation. It shouldn't have happened, but now it's resolved. And then I look at, okay, you missed out on Sven Botman. Personally, I think that's a blessing in disguise, because I think that with Romagnoli going, with the way that we got Kalulu there, who was excellent. Tomori's a fantastic player. Kjær is coming back. He's going to be solid. So what you really need is a fourth center back. You're sending Gabi out on loan. So for me, Acerbi or something like that, you're sorted. So for me, wasting that much money on Botman, or it was.
And not only that, even Renato Sanchez, he's not Bidone. This guy should have never came to Milan. Bidone di merda, that guy.
I was going to say about Renato Sanchez. I actually think that losing Kessie and missing out on Renato Sanchez, that's not good, but it's not a disaster because you own Pobega and you have Yasinato. So that's still not a disaster. So then I look forward. I think Origi is a decent player, decent backup. But then I look at the right wing and I see a clusterfuck. I see nothing but a clusterfuck. Which right wing,
Nima?
The right, exactly. You don't have one. So that needs to be. But okay, there is time to fix this. There are good right wingers out there. It's just you need to do that, and you need to focus on Leao's contract extension. Those are the two most important things they need to do this summer. Anything other than that, they already kind of fixed it before by getting these players in place. So it's not really a disaster. It's been a bit underwhelming. The drama is unnecessary, but it's not a disaster. Nothing horrible has happened.
Oh, Flavio's saying that, you just watched the video of Maldini come out and Casemiro. You can read it in his face. He's not. I think he's happy, Flavio.
No, he was tired. He was just tired. He was exhausted. Just tired Go look at the video. I saw the video. The man, that is a tired person. That is someone who's been in meetings all day. It's 11 p.m. in Italy, 10 p.m., 11 p.m. He's just goddamn tired. And I understand it because from what I've understood from people, talking to people who who've been covering this story, what I understood is that Maldini put a lot of pressure on Elliott, demanding some sort of guarantee for him and Ricky Masara to continue. He should. Without a doubt, he should.
He should.
And the fact that he's staying, to me, suggests that they've come to an agreement.
Maldini, the whole family was Milanisti. He could, if he was gonna leave, it was gonna be una vergogna.
Tommy, we gotta give time to the whole group to talk.
Tommy. But I'm gonna leave now. But the only one thing I'm gonna leave with one thing.
Okay, here we go.
La Juventus fa schifo. Remember, this year they're not gonna win the championship again. They're gonna invest money, and like always, they're gonna end up third or fourth. That Vlahovic they bought, no vale un cazzo. Already they're regretting it. Anyways, if Milan or Inter, but if Milan wins again this year, I'm happy. But anybody but la Juventus. A me la Juventus proprio non mi sta sopra le palle. Una cazzo di merda di squadra that these guys deserve to be in Serie B. Hanno comprato parecchie partite in the 80s and the 2000s. And I don't know how they're still in Serie A. Vergogna.
Okay. Thank you for joining for these 10 minutes. We appreciate it. We always need some Tommy time. Do you have a bidone before an Inter bidone this week in cadaver?
Veramente facile. That one is very easy.
Tell me.
Hakan Çalhanoğlu that he was crying. Ibrahimovic e questo e quell'altro. Ma tu non vale una cicca. He's not even un tallone di Achille of Ibra. He's not not even worth that.
Okay. So you know what? Maybe I thought you were going to come up with some sort of obscure name, but anyways. But thank you, Tommy, for joining us. And
The obscure names I come per il Milan, because io sono un tifoso milanista, I know them all. Ma l'Inter non me ne frega troppo, capisci?
Okay. Well,
Se era la Juventus pure ci mettevo più passione, capisci?
okay, we need to go to everybody to talk here. Tommy, thank you very much. If you gotta go,
Have a
you
good
gotta
night, guys.
Ciao,
Forza
Tommy.
Milan, guys.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Yeah, buddy.
Forza Inter.
Timmy, no, who we
Yeah.
at? We're at
Yeah,
Rock
I asked
Nation
one
Hustle.
question.
Yes.
I didn't even finish. I said, why can't we get the deals? Like you have Juve getting these deals, and then Inter getting these crazy deals, but Milan can't even get a deal done.
I
The
think
only
you
thing
will.
that scares me, is that we're too late. Like I feel like we're already too late. They just signed the thing, and now who do we have? Like, man, there's been so many transfers I could see that, like, even Gabriel Jesus from City, he could have been huge pickup, and he wasn't even that much money. That guy could play every position in the front, and yet nothing was done. You know, Renato Sanchez we're gonna miss out on him. Like
I think it's
just too
a
late.
lot of like, you know, Nima, if I have to ask you, a lot of the news that we've seen, like, you know, this whole thing of these Chinese sponsors that they defaulted on the pay, they had to go get some more money, and you're looking at these kind of deals. And again, I'm just telling you what we read, and I'm no financial expert. Even seems that a lot of Twitter people are financial experts, as you can see. But what makes Inter come up with a deal like this, or even, you know, I'm not saying that Milan can pull it off, or maybe, you know, they're talking about who were they talking about? Marco Asensio with a dry loan, not a dry loan, but money to buy. But do you think Lukaku's willing to come back to Inter, help that cause?
For sure.
Yeah, he is. I mean, the way that he came back to Inter is he said yesterday, and I believe him, and I think we all know, he basically confirmed that he'd been talking to Simone Inzaghi and the team for the entirety of last season.
He said in the second week on Chelsea when he went back. His first interview with Chelsea or something, the Chelsea fans were pissed because all he did was talk about Inter.
That was the infamous Sky Italia interview that was aired on New Year's Eve or thereabouts. That was recorded 3 weeks earlier. We actually did a podcast on that with Nizar Kinsella, who's he's a journalist who covers Chelsea and the English national team for Goal and Evening Standard, and I asked him about that at Chelsea and what was going on, and you know, and he basically said that, you know, it started off okay, but he didn't really suit the team. He didn't suit the tactics of the team. He got injured and got COVID. He wasn't happy with how Tuchel reintroduced him after that. Things didn't go so well. He got benched. He did the interview, and then he did well and scored twice. And then the interview comes out, and then all hell breaks loose. And that's just, you know,
it was maybe the beginning at the end, right? But
yeah,
I guess July 1st is tomorrow, guys. We'll see what happens from there.
No, look I think I want to touch base on that. Why do Milan not do these things? Well, Milan doesn't operate like that. Milan operates in a completely different way. I mean, if you look at the way Milan has built, and you know, Vinny, we've spoken about this privately and also on Twitter. I remember the first full season that Ibrahimovic came back. Going into that, I was very optimistic about Milan, and I felt that you guys actually had a team for the top four. And then you finished second, and then you know, you continued building on this young, sustainable, low wages, but giving talented young players the chance to grow. I really think Milan and Arsenal are the two most interesting, you know, football projects in all of Europe. I really enjoy what they're doing there with the kind of young players they're building there and the kind of football, you know, obviously different, but what they're doing is really interesting to follow. It's really interesting to see. And again, I keep saying this, I don't think Renato Sanchez was a disaster. It's not good.
No,
but Yassin Adli and Pobega, I rate Pobega. I like what I've seen from Yassin Adli. I really think Botman would have been a complete waste of money given what you already have. That's not where you're weak.
At that money didn't make any sense.
And then I look at the right wing, and you have nothing there. And I'm thinking, well, that means you can actually strengthen there. You can put quite a bit of that Mercato budget there.
Yeah, we're gonna get a $2 million Brazilian 19-year-old. That's the news now.
So, but I mean, someone like Berardi, I actually think Berardi would do great at Milan.
In the end, you know, as we take it off to Rock Nation Usney, the Serie A needs Milan and Inter on top once again. Ragnar Shinazni, any thoughts about the news today or any questions directly to Nima? Be nice. No swearing, Ragnar Shinazni. You swore like the last two of them. Well, you don't seem like the swearer, but looks could be deceiving.
I got it in me. Firstly, thanks Nima for joining us, and it's always good to have you could say the opinion from the other side of the fence. But before I go into the questions for Nima, I just want to say, and I'll keep saying this, Redbird out. It's obvious that as of today, that what it shows, Redbird will only focus on buying the club. They are so unprepared about what happens after you bought the club. This thing, and Nima, you've also mentioned it didn't need to happen. Why did it happen? These kind of things happen, and it would happen with not just the management, it happens with players. You have to renew the contracts, but it seems like they were busy looking for investment and all this. So my feeling is that Elliot, they probably set Redbird into the trap, just like how they did with what's his name, Leong Hong, whatever his name is. Yeah, they probably set up the trap so that these guys would fail, then they would take it back. And this is why I see that InvestCorp probably did the smart thing. They knew it's going to be trapped, and they just walked away. Because InvestCorp looked to me like they had money, they probably wouldn't care. And what's important for InvestCorp, in my opinion, and I'm speculating a lot here, I would think that they didn't agree to Elliot still remaining because of shit like this. You buy a club, you buy it, you run it the way that you want it. Not you buy it, someone has another say, difference of opinion, everything gets slowed down. And guess what? They bought one, I would, especially for me, I would say one of the biggest clubs in the world. And I think no one can deny that. And they're just not prepared. They say they brought, what's the name for the French club? Toulouse, was it? Up to Ligue 1?
Yeah.
I thought they had some experience to expect these things. But guess what? They completely...
I hope what you're saying, I hope it's not true, because in the end, if it is true, and I'm going to take Nima's word for word with the Yong Hong Lee stuff, and he has said to me and Steve, the wool was pulled over our eyes, and we were all taken for a ride, right? So let's just hope, yes, the signs are there that something went wrong, right? But hopefully it's not that. Do you have a question for the garden snake, Nima?
Yes. Two questions actually. First question is just more of an opinion. So you have the pulse of the rest of the Interistas or the Medrazuri, whatever we call them nowadays. So it's more of in the race for the second star. You have to admit, titles are won on the pitch in terms of the points. You get them, you score goals, you win matches, you win titles. Do Interisti, you guys, really think that the hand-me-downs from the Juve Calciopoli really count towards the second star? I mean, do you guys...
Let me put it to you this way. How does it work in when Ben Johnson doped and won the 1988 100-meter sprint? What happens when an athlete uses doping and wins the gold medal? He gets disqualified, and who is clean in that race gets that medal. There are how many convictions upheld? How many times at Juve about Calciopoli? It's like, to me, debating Calciopoli is like debating whether the earth is flat or not. It happened. It's there. Go read it. It's all there.
I love that analogy. Ben Johnson, Ben Johnson won, but he was open to give it to the second star. I love that.
So for me, actually, I think Moratti was too nice. For me, it was a pussy. I would have gone after the 2004-2005 Scudetto as well, not just 1, 2, because for both of those years, what happened. We know what happened, but the rest. I don't want to talk about Calciopoli because there's nothing to debate. It's all there. It's just go read it. You can listen to people who claim that the earth is flat, or you can just accept that the earth isn't flat and move on with your life. I'm at that stage. So for me, I have no problem. In fact, we already have 20 stars. It should be 21. That's what my mentality is.
Okay. Fighting words. Did you have a last one before we pass it off to you?
I have a second question. It's going to be a quick one. Most Milanisti, we want our own stadium. And with all this San Siro and all that, it seems that it's maybe at this point of time, most likely still going to be that joint project. How do Interisti feel about it? Would you guys prefer to have your own place or keep it as it is?
Look, I think ideally, in a financially would be the best thing to do, wouldn't it, for both clubs to have their own stadiums? But I think given that these two clubs have shared a stadium for such a long time, and also given how the clubs they really are cousins, aren't they? It's not like in Rome where you have parts of the city that are Lazio and parts of the city are Rome. Milan is divided. It's mixed. You have families where 2 people support Inter, 2 people support Milan. They're very, very close. And therefore, I think that maybe, financially, obviously, you half the costs. And maybe that could be the thing, that could be the unique selling point from a marketing perspective, that these are cousin clubs that are separated only by the length of a pitch, pretty much, which is kind of what most of their history has kind of been, domestically at least. And also sharing the stadium San Siro. They've done it for such a long time. I mean, that makes them stand out from all other city rivalries, I think.
Oh, this new stadium better be good, because San Siro is just, you can't beat it. You can't beat
Saying
it.
you were talking about how it's magical. Let's see,
Look,
because we've been talking about
there
it
is
for years.
nothing like it. It is the La Scala of football, but the foundations are 100 years old, and they cannot fix them. It's like Wembley in London. That's a classic stadium, but they had to tear it down, and on that same place rebuild something new, and that has to happen to the San Siro because it's old.
It's just the way we keep on
old.
talking about, like, you know what, even though old school guys like us have a hard time accepting the fact that football is a business now. Times evolve. San Siro has to evolve, and these old school places, it makes a lot of sense, and it's a business. We need to make money. Gio,
No, but also
no?
make the stadiums nicer to visit. Like I'm talking about a toilet that doesn't make you vomit on the way in and out. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
mean,
but
I'm
Nima,
not
don't you-
asking for
don't-
much here.
But Nima,
Like,
don't
I'm
you
asking
think
for a
that's
foot rub.
that's what it is about when you go to San Siro?
No, it is not.
It is
No,
trash.
no.
And
It smells like 100-year-old piss.
Yes,
It's not nice.
but
That's called
everything,
Interisti, that's why.
but everything
Nah.
else in our life is so clean and nice, and
No, I'm
everybody
not
waits
asking
in
for a
line.
hospital.
And
I'm
San
not asking
Siro
for
is
a
just
hospital,
like
Simon. I'm asking for a
anarchy
toilet that
and
doesn't smell like 100-year-old piss. That's
Okay.
all I'm asking.
Okay,
I
so
love it.
I hope I don't smell 100-year-old piss if I get to the derby on September. Gio,
You'll be
I don't
smelling
know,
the Intermedia, don't worry.
or you're
You'll
sneaking out of
you're
work.
getting 0 points, 0 punti. on the way
Oh,
home.
look! Oh, we're guys. This is therapy. Everybody's nice. No, maybe mute you. I'm the therapist over here.
Yeah,
But
that's
Gio, what do you got to say? Have any questions for Nima? And be nice, Gio. Be nice.
Nah. Nima is a cool dude, even though he on
Thank you.
Spaces he talks a lot of caca. You feel me? Like they don't need to sell none of their players.
Yeah, we do.
The two parts question, Nima. How does Inter's Ponzi scheme work, and who would you sell out of Lautaro or Skriniar? Because to me, I think you could get Lautaro. This is me. I'm not trying to be delusional, because Darwin Nunez went for 80 million. He had only one good season in Portugal. So if you were able to sell Skriniar for 70 or Lautaro for 110, who would you sell?
Well, the first one, the Ponzi scheme. Well, we can ask Don Silvio and Adriano who are doing it in Monza, because they did that for 30 years.
I'm going to mute you, Nima.
But as for, look, I agree with you. I think I remember before we got into this, the rumors came Inter have to end the mercato on a profit of 60 million euros, and obviously you look at the names and you're thinking it's going to be a big name player. Because obviously they tried to sell the youth, but the market hasn't really recovered yet. I mean, overall in the Premier League, they've spent over 500 million euros so far, and in the Serie A, it's been 50 million. So there is that. So the market hasn't recovered. There's not that much money moving about, so they couldn't sell the kids. So you look at, okay, so who do you do? And for me, Bastoni, Barella, Brozovic, and those, Skriniar, those are the ones that I look around and say, well, I think they are, for one reason or another, the most important and are easier to, and are the most difficult to replace. But then you see that, okay, well, Bremer is there, and Bremer is the best defender in the Serie A. But then again, if you bring him in and you get rid of Skriniar, it's a different dynamic, because he plays differently, or even though he might be a better defender defensively, or he is better defender defensively, better than anyone in the Serie A, his passing maybe isn't there yet, and so on. So I don't know. I think you're right. I think mathematically, Lautaro Martinez, you can get 110, 120. But the problem is Lautaro does not want to leave. And Bastoni made it clear he does not want to leave. And Barella's made it pretty clear he does not want to leave. So it becomes, and with Skriniar, he said no so many times. He's 27 years now. He's been at Inter for such a long time. The next step is making him captain, or what's happened now is you have PSG coming. I mean, it's for these guys to play with Messi, Neymar, Mbappe. It's a big thing. you know, in
Neymar's
their
coming to Milan.
careers.
I don't know if you heard on Twitter. Neymar's coming to Milan. Nima, I saw
I'll
it
be
on
the
the
first to
internet.
buy his jersey.
I saw it on the internets, but
I'll
yes,
buy it already because I know it's
So it
happening.
must be truth.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it must be true. But you know, I
Nima,
like.
one short question, sorry. And when you guys won the Scudetto, how was like your merch? Because our merch has sold out and they're
Yeah,
not
no, that's a good
restocking.
question.
No,
That's a
so I
No,
want to know
I
how it
think.
was.
Look,
Because I think
I
Puma out, Kappa in.
yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I mean, Kappa is the most beautiful. Like, come on, Kappa is Kappa. But the problem is they don't pay as well as the others. That's the issue. But if we're talking beauty, Kappa is.
Was there
for
a
me,
problem international, Nima, for the champions, the Scudetto champions T-shirt? I'm not talking about Europe, but I know Europe and Milan even they're running out of the black T-shirt, all that stuff. But was there a problem with you guys with Nike?
No, I can't remember, but I think your merch. I think generally speaking, I think Milan's merch are better at merchandising. I think than Inter. I really think so. I think the way they build marketing around and the way they build hype around, and the tone they have, I think is better. I think sometimes Inter's is a little bit childish.
Yeah,
like,
but when you
I
have
think it
guys from us
also
in North
has-
America that have to pay if when they were available $90 for a T-shirt, Nima, it doesn't make any sense, and nothing's available in North America.
I think
you know.
worldwide there's more AC Milan fans than Inter fans.
Yes,
which
okay.
is why the product probably sold out. The numbers
It's
are
just
there,
sad, no,
reportedly,
but
right?
maybe Nike had a better
And
plan, but I never
Nike
heard
does
about
have a
the
better-
Inter stuff going, oh, there's a problem with T-shirts or whatever the case may be. But
No, but I
Nike's
mean,
the
you
biggest
guys.
brand in the world, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you have Nike's distribution is not exactly like they're pretty good at that. They know how to get their products around.
They own Jordan, right?
yeah.
So
Yeah,
there's
so-
There you go.
they know what they're doing. Like when
They
they
know
release
what
a
they're
new
doing.
shoe every 6 months.
Nima,
Yeah.
I know Fabio's.
But I
one
do
of our
gotta
mem-
say, I really like I gotta say, Milan TV, what they do, and Simone Nobilini and these guys. I really think they do such a good job. I really do. I think Suma could do with a retirement because he seems to not live in reality, and he seems like to mix up his morning medicine with his night medicine, and it goes off on these incoherent ramblings and word salads. But and you feel like, oh, will somebody put Grandpa to bed? Grandpa's out. I mean, Grandpa's not having.
Leave
a good
no-
day.
no
alone. Let the guy live. All right.
Speaking of
But the rest
medication,
of them, I gotta say, Simone Nobilini and the guys, they do
those
some
are
really
pretty good.
job.
Yeah, but
They do,
speaking
and
of
his Ibra imitation sends me every goddamn time. I laugh to the point of coughing. It's just it's so
But,
funny. That
you know,
interview they did together was brilliant.
Nimi, speaking of medication, Fabio is the one that I prescribe medication to because he's very excited all the time. He's been waving his Italian flag since we won the Scudetto.
Sempre, Vinny,
you know,
sempre.
He's got Fabio and Simon have their Interista Vaffanculo t-shirts from Milan Club Dublin, and I love
We
it
just
because
wanted
Nima's-
you to feel at home.
But Fabio, how about you? Do you have a question directly for Nima or a comment? What do you
We'll,
got?
we'll get to him in a second. But first, I got to talk about Milan because you
Oh,
know what?
boy.
I said it a couple of weeks ago. This is what Milan does. We don't do anything ahead of time. We wait until the last minute, just like the Scudetto. We couldn't win it a couple of weeks early. We had to wait until the very last week. This guy, we don't even get a press conference, nothing. We get the guy driving in his car. We have to almost make him cause an accident just to say, oh, we signed something. Don't worry. As he tries out. What an unbelievable organization. We have a lot of work to do. I said it was a miracle Scudetto. We won with 10 men, sometimes 9 men. All right. The rest of Italy needs to be unlearned because, yes, like Nima said, when the Milan clubs, and Steve says it all the time, when the Milan clubs are back on top, all of Italy is a better product. It's just how it is. And we still can see a guy who's a team, a management group of 3 years in, they're getting better and better. We make the next jump. We don't even plan accordingly. I don't know if it's Elliott, the struggle with Gazidis because Maldini wants more power. Whatever the hell it is, it's a slow burn, man, and I don't like it. I want to get straight to the fucking point. I want to be signing players already.
Fabio.
Yeah, look, Lukaku's coming. Wonderful. He's coming back into us happy. Who do we got? You're going to tell me about Messias? Or maybe we sign him or some
Fabio.
other bullshit. We lost on this guy. Hold on 1 second, Vinny. I've waited all week.
Whoa.
And
I'm
these
the
people are
therapist
driving
here.
me crazy. Look. All right, I'm still happy. Never gonna let that we just won the Scudetto down, all right? Because it's a glorious thing.
Vinny,
But
up the
don't-
dose of medication.
No. Listen, there's no medication that will stop this. All I'm going to say is that Milan has an opportunity to keep pressing and getting better. Let's not fuck around. Once everything is in place, sign Leao, sign Benacer, because if they don't sign contract extensions, our mercato needs to change, guys. It needs to start looking for $150 million out there. I'm not kidding. No more losing players for nothing. You don't sign the contract, sayonara, motherfucker. Thanks for the Scudetto. And all right, and Nima, my question for you: Who or what would you say is the moment when you look back at this past season and say that's what cost you Inter's championship? Because with only one game, there's a couple of moments, I'm sure. And I wonder if it's Inzaghi slipping on the steps, because the whole season kind of went out of whack after that.
No, that was very, very funny though. That was incredibly funny. But no, for me, it's four moments, I think, because if you look at a season, whether if it's Inter, Milan, whoever, you can lose a derby, you can be 1-0 up in control, but if you just up by one goal and someone makes a stupid mistake, you can lose that game, and that's what happened in the derby, and that's maybe not the best thing in the world, but I can live with that. But what I can't live with, for me, the reason why Inter didn't win the Scudetto is four instances. The first one is Federico Di Marco taking a penalty and missing it against Atalanta in the dying minutes. The second, that game ended in a draw. It should have been 3 points. That's 2 points there. The second is the first derby against Milan, where Lautaro Martinez, for some reason, takes the penalty instead of Hakan Çalhanoğlu. I mean, that's another 2 points, because that Inter would have won that game if they'd taken the lead. That's 4 points. It's Andre Radu doing whatever the fuck that was against Bologna. 1 more point there, because that should never have happened. That's 5. And then the last game, the last points is that I blame fully Simone Inzaghi for, is the goalless draw away against Genoa after an absolutely wretched performance, horrible performance.
The difference,
probably the worst of the season. They were unwatchable.
That was a bad game.
He got
Inzaghi and
everything wrong.
Yeah.
Is the closing. Conte would not let it slip away like that.
No, that's what I mean. And so when you add
right.
those 7 points, then you reach 91 that Conte had. And when you put it into that way, okay, so 84 after losing Hakimi, Eriksen, Conte, and Lukaku, replacing them with Correa, Dzeko, Dumfries, and Simone, that's not a bad result.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. And only 7 point difference, playing a very attacking football, making Hakan Çalhanoğlu into a Mezzala, which no one has managed to before, making double-digit assists, becoming a part of that team. They're playing a very attacking, free-flowing, one-touch, horizontal football that no one expected. And he did so with an arguably worse team than last season, an arguably worse team than Conte's first season. I think that's a decent season, but at the end of the day, it's a Scudetto buttato mandato alle puttane. There's no doubt about that.
No, and a lot of people were talking about, it's the Bologna game. I'm gonna go like you were saying, that 7-8 game streak that only had 1 point, but in the end the ball is round, right? I feel bad for Daniel, because Daniel, just a newest member of Patreon, Milan Club, he's looking at this like, what the fuck did I get myself into? Look at these crazy motherfuckers. And Daniel, Cleveland, you're there, you're live. You got, our Nima here. Any comments or a direct question for our favorite garden snake?
Well, I know that I got to earn my keep because I'm the new guy, so I'm perfectly fine just sitting here and biding my time. But I think all of my questions have really been answered. All I will say is, Vinny, you stole my thunder because I was going to break the Neymar news.
I'm sorry. I didn't. You know what? Notizie dell'America, Neymar al Milan. This is what Fabio, with Faz, you say from New York. We're breaking a news story. So I'm sorry about that, Daniel. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but Nima, I just appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks.
And I live in Cleveland. I'm in America, and I come from an Italian family where we're split between Milan and Inter. My cousins, my uncle, they're all Internisti. We're all Milanista. And So it's back and forth, back and forth. So I know what this is about. But
Yeah, that's nice.
I think first on the Milan front, I just want to say, like, nothing else matters before we renewed Maldini. Nothing else, because you see all these rumors and stuff. None of that stuff happens if Maldini doesn't renew his contract. He's the most important figure. I think I can't remember who said it, but I think it was Tommy actually said that the Maldini is synonymous with Milan. So if we have a new ownership comes in and he doesn't renew and he leaves, I mean, what does that say about what's the direction of the club? So that's the most important thing before anything else.
Yeah, but the thing that I think is, I mean, of course, but I mean, have you got new owners? I mean, that's the thing. It's not really
true,
because you don't have new owners. You have a partnership between Redbird and Elliott, and that's fine.
A $1.3 billion partnership.
Yeah, but they haven't paid. They're loaning it for 600-700. What are they doing? They're loaning 600-700 million for
it's a payment plan, Nima.
So
when you go to Best Buy, 48 equal payments.
Like, let's
48 months.
5 out of 9.
This is another scam by Elliott. They're not going to be able to pay, and they're going to take 100% ownership again. That's probably what's going to happen.
That's what I'm saying, and that's not good for Milan if that happens. That's bullshit.
Of course.
Well,
But the thing I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that out of 9 board places, 5 are controlled by Elliott. Well, then it's a partnership. It's not. You don't have new owners. You have a partnership, and that's great. Be honest about that. Don't bullshit the fans. But one thing that I think as an Italian football as a whole, this thing shows is when you can't even Milan, a club that is so good, so well run by Elliott in terms of what they've done in terms of finances, and to turn this around, and your wage bill is like what 100 million euros overall. That's incredibly well. They've done it. They've done the impossible, you could say, or the most difficult thing, long-term, homegrown, and success on the pitch.
Nothing short of a miracle in COVID years to actually minimize the
So and to get sporting success as well. That's a fantastic job. But when even that club can't find an Arabic owner or an owner that is just willing to spend, because they back off like that, and you can only get a hedge fund or not a hedge fund, but a guy who what's the word I'm looking for? Not hedge fund, but
investment.
Investment firm. Sorry, thank you. Investment firm. We're looking for an investment firm. That's the best you can do, and you can't even get Milan. You can't even get the reigning Italian champions to get a Mubadala, to get InvestCorp, to get someone, because of what Amanda Stavely at Newcastle said, which is 100% true, and a lot of Italian football fans were offended, but the truth can't be offensive when it's true. Italian football is structurally a mess. And when you can't get someone to invest in a club that is so well run as Milan financially, then that says to me that this league, not the club, the league has a long way to go. Long way to go.
Amen to that.
And I think people need to just realize
Gio's comment's perfect though on this subject.
It says like InvestCorp wasn't falling for the bullshit. They said they take the 1.3 billion and go, and Elliott said no because they want to make over $1 billion net before they let guys. Stuff is gonna come out. Stuff is gonna come out one day. In the end, let's take it as Milan signing, Maldini signing today. Let's see what goes on. Guys, it's already been 45 minutes, but I'm going to ask you one question, yes or no. We're going to start. I'm going to finish with you, Nima, because I want to see what your thoughts. Simon, Dybala, Milan, or Inter?
Yes.
What I want? Yes.
No. Answer that yes or no.
Okay. No. What I want to know. Hypothetically, is he going to Inter or is he going to Milan?
As it stands now, Milan, because Inter has to get rid of players first, and we don't. We need one, so Milan.
Timmy.
Well, I don't know. It looks like Inter had their chance and they didn't pull it over. Like, that's, again, we're going based on what the internet says, but it looks like the chance with Inter has gone. So now Milan
Timmy,
is where it's going.
The internet is the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. Rock Nation Husney. How about you? To Inter or to Milan?
I'll give two parts to the question. I want him in Milan, but I don't see it happening. Number one, Redbird is incompetent. Redbird out again. And also, secondly, I think we're a little bit stacked. We haven't moved anyone out. We have Maldini who can play there. We have Krunic who played several games in that position. Diaz is still there. Adli is coming in. I don't think it makes sense.
Come on.
know
I hope
what?
you're being sarcastic there.
Rock Nation Husney, I think
You better
honestly,
be
Fabio,
being sarcastic.
you were here.
better be sarcastic.
You were here, Fabio. You were here.
Diaz?
Listen to me. You were here for needing therapy every week. Rock Nation Husney just went over you. Rock Nation Husney needs more therapy than you. And you guys
the
should share the
first
same
name he
medication.
said was Maldini.
Okay.
Holy cow, we're
Fabio,
in trouble.
Fabio, the question is Dybala, Inter or Milan?
Atletico Madrid. I don't even want him on either team. CDK. All right. Leave your low option Diaz as your background. Maybe he'll learn how to play in his third year. I don't know. I don't want Dybala. 7, 8, 9, 10 million. What the fuck does he want? Everybody wants $1 million extra when they come to Milan. Get out of here. Is this guy gonna stay healthy? I don't know. Not one of my favorites, Vinny. Not one of my favorites.
I love it. Daniel, how about you? Where do you see him go? Would you take him?
I'm not gonna lie. When Rock Nation said Maldini, I thought he meant Paolo. I'll go back to what I can't remember who said it, but kind of Inter had their chance.
Yeah,
with him. I think from what I've read, and I know the internet is everything, but I think Inter kind of had their choice between Lukaku or Dybala. I don't think they could sign both of them. So for that, right now, I would say Milan, but I don't know that either team's going to sign him, to be honest.
I love how Daniel's on one corner, Simon is on the Switzerland is neutral. Daniel's got the neutral answer. I love it. Gio, I know you maybe you just came back on. Do you want to answer this? Dybala, Inter or Milan?
I think he's going to Inter because I want Doku on the right wing. I think he's raw talent that could burn up the league.
Gio.
I love him.
Okay,
He's on
and
work.
Timmy, we was never getting Jesus. We have Redbird. Okay, we don't have Invest Corp. All right, we were never in for him. 45 million is our whole budget.
You spend it. That guy can play every position up top.
CDK, baby. CDK for 40 million.
He went to Arsenal, 5th place Arsenal, guys.
Our group therapy session is like the internet, multiple different opinions. But let's finish off with Nima. Nima, is he going to Inter? Have they passed? Has it been too long, or are they selling somebody? Because Marotto's talked, right? He said, "Yeah, we're in contacts." And has the time gone, or do you actually think this could be feasible?
No, I think next week Bremer and Dybala week. I think next week is when they're gonna try. They're finishing up the Skriniar thing this week, and they're also getting. Today there was Aslani. Yesterday was Lukaku. Tomorrow is Mkhitaryan and Onana. I think either tomorrow or the day after that are those two things, and then Monday is Belanova on his medical. So they're focusing on getting Pinamonti out. They're focusing on Sensi out. All these. Vidal, Alexis Sanchez. Those are the things they got planned. So and also they're in started talks with Torino for Bremer. So I think next week is Dybala week, and I think so far that pact between Marotta and his people have stood because Dybala, let's be honest, Dybala doesn't really have that many options. Real Madrid don't want him. Barcelona can't afford them even if they did want him, and we're pretty sure they don't want him. Atletico Madrid they're not too keen either. In England, none of the big teams want him.
No.
In Germany, they can't afford him and they don't want him, and PSG doesn't want him, and Juve got rid of him. I don't think Milan won't say no to him, but they're not going to pay him 6-7 million euros.
I mean, if he comes down to 3 million a year,
work a deal,
and we get rid of Diaz.
Work a deal.
It's like what we're gonna make fun is forget Botman that like Nima was saying is a blessing in disguise. We don't have money to spend for this guy, or maybe Renato Sanchez. But hey, guys, we're getting Neymar. So don't believe everything on the internets.
But can we work out a deal? 5 million if you stay healthy, or sorry, 7 million if you stay healthy.
48 equal payment plans. We're not Juventus.
I
Give
know.
us 30 million, 5 million.
Give the guy, say, hey, 8 mil if you stay healthy, and then 5 mil if you fucking get injured. Call it
They
a
make-
day.
they
I,
make
I, I think
Legend.
I think at the end of the day he's going to sign for Inter. I really think so. I don't
so.
I don't think he's part of Milan's plans. I don't think Milan is remotely interested. I think that's mainly his agent,
need
if I'm
him.
A
perfectly
lot of
honest.
talking. Yeah.
I don't think Milan are interested because he doesn't suit how Milan play in terms of tactically either, and he doesn't suit Milan's wage bill. He doesn't suit their strategy. It's just not what Milan are doing under Maldini and Ricky Massara, who I really admire. I think Ricky Massara is an
Look,
absolutely
if Inter
fantastic
get
sporting
Dybala,
director.
they got Lukaku, and Milan don't get shit, guys,
Inter is still
call it.
favorites.
Call it. It doesn't
Inter will
matter
still
if
be
they're
favorite, guys.
They're already favorites, guys.
They
with
could be
what they
winter
have.
champions
With
too,
Lukaku,
for all I care.
with Lukaku, they already got
Just like-
favorites. Now, if you add Dybala, they're gonna become even heavier favorites.
Good.
And Milan's there doing nothing. So
Doesn't
it
matter.
doesn't happen. Yeah, it
We
does
had
matter.
we
need
played
to
with
do it.
9 men, guys.
Okay.
It's
Just
a
imagine
change.
if we
Inter
get our
with-
shit
I'm
together.
surprised. I'm
Inter with
surprised.
Lukaku and Dybala is not the same Inter
We're
of
talking
last
about
year.
Dybala, Lukaku, and then Brahim Diaz. Are
Yeah.
you fucking kidding me?
That's what I'm
We're
saying.
so
guys.
close to dominating this league if we
It's
get our
almost
shit
midnight
together.
for Simon. Poor guy. Nima doesn't sleep. Doesn't
Simon,
sleep.
turn the speakers on loud. I'm waking everybody in the house. All right, it's getting ridiculous, and Milan needs to get together because I want that second star. Don't embarrass us, Maldini's. Let us down the right path. Just give him
Okay.
his fucking money.
Let's
Let him
wait.
buy players, quality players.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
You
we're gonna
guys.
get
I'm
Matias
really
again.
surprised.
You're
I'm really
surprised, though?
surprised that you guys haven't gone after Belotti on a free transfer. I
Fuck
thought at
no.
least.
Fuck,
thought-
hey,
no.
Skiva, we have Origi, we have the other guy.
Origi,
Ibrahimovic
okay.
is just a coach for a year.
No,
We
but
don't know
I'm-
what the hell's going on over there.
I'm with Nima on that one there. I'm with
I
Nima.
find it so
Fuck
strange.
that.
Yeah,
I want to ask
definitely
one
strange.
question
But
to Nima.
let's finish
but
it
this is
off.
more-
Yeah, Regnish.
Yeah, this is just more of like quite a compliment. Something that I do admire about Inter. What is it with your medical team? It seems like you guys are not bad, by the way, since last season. Yeah, Lukaku, I can't remember the last time he missed the game. And you guys don't have a problem with COVID or anything. We just got COVID just before the winter break. And
Dude,
I don't remember
Inter had the
last
most.
time-
I think Inter were like the second team that had the most COVIDs during this year. Inter won during that
behind
COVID
Milan.
year.
But
No,
not at
I'm
the same
pretty sure-
time.
No,
I mean-
no, but I mean, it was. Look, no, it's the medical. Look, Conte, when he came in there, I think it already kind of started when Spalletti was there, and then they really improved. When Conte came in there with Pintus, we barely had an injury. And then last season, Simone Inzaghi and his medical staff, they're also very good. They didn't have many injuries at Lazio either. I think a lot of it is also, where the team is, and you guys have a really young team. And they're, I think Tonali is the best example of that. When he came his first year, he came from a very small provincial side, Brescia. Going from Brescia to Milan, just in terms of size and the amount of training that you do, just the amount of work that you put your body through, that is a huge step. And I think he needed that first year to be a little bit awkward, to be a bit rusty, be a bit injured, and work through that. And then we saw last season, I think he was your most consistent player. I think he was absolutely fantastic. I think without Leao and Tonali, you don't win the Scudetto.
Right.
And they were so good. So I think with Milan, I think it's a little bit like that. The Chiar thing, that's just what can you do? I mean,
It happened.
it
But
happens. It's
let
not,
me
it's
correct
not,
you, Nima. Tonali, Maldini went to Tonali and said, "Look, I need you to suck this year. I need a discount. Give me a $10 million less. This is why you come to me for sources. You understand? Don't believe
That is
everything
true.
you see on
No,
the
no, no, you're
internets.
right. No,
And if you need any breaking news for sempreinter.com, please let me know. I got some Stevie P. He's always on the.
I got you on the hotline. I got you and
just
you
call
and,
me on the
Steve.
hotline. Don't worry. But Nima, honestly, I think we could chat for another hour or so.
Always.
But thank you so very much for joining
Pleasure.
us. To Simon, to Timmy, to Daniel, Fabio, Rock Nation Azim, to Tommy that joined us before, Gio joining us while his work shift. Nima, hey,
Yeah.
if you're there September 3rd,
I'll let you know.
I'll embrace you.
I don't think I'll make it, but
I'll
try.
if not, I'll embrace you with a hug no matter what. Then we'll punch each other in the face before the game, we'll take a picture. But guys, for anybody that look at Nima, guys. Very down to earth Interista. We like to take our jabs at each other. He is not venomous. He's okay, guys. You can talk to him. And from what, just like we have our
Fabio.
just like we have our haters on Milan Weekly Podcast, you have yours. But you know what? I always appreciate your takes and always calling it straight down the middle. Whether it be like complimenting Milan, where we compliment Inter. When Steve always said it. This is Inter's year, always Inter's year. So really appreciate you taking the time, staying up all night. Simon, I hope we didn't wake up the kids. Timmy, Forza MLS with Insigne. Now you got Domenico Criscito that you signed the second coming of Ronaldo there in Toronto. Rock Nation Husney, I know it's late there as well. Love the jacket. Rock Nation Husney, Nima, he's always got the flashy kind of things. You know those jerseys that are the rack for rich people?
Yeah.
That's where Husney shops. That's where Husney shops. Fabio, don't forget your freaking medication.
Listen,
Daniel?
and don't forget to tell everybody, if you're watching this video, you better have hit the like button already. Subscribe to the channel. Share with people you know. Let's get us up to 10,000 followers, baby. Let's go.
Nice.
Thank you. And to Daniel, I think he's still wondering, what the hell did I get myself into? But this is therapy session, Daniel, too. And good luck to Milan Club Cleveland. First year, the best of luck to you. And
Daniel,
who knows,
I might
maybe
take
you
a
get
ride
an
out there.
Inter Club Cleveland. If you could find
Ohio's
those 3 members.
only 4.5 hours away. From
Oh, there we
us,
go.
so
Good to have you.
maybe I'll
Hey,
take
I,
a
have,
look
I
at
actually have
drive.
family in Toronto.
Perfect.
Oh, there we go. There we go. So, guys, thank you so very much. Oh, sorry, Nima. Ovunque sempre.
Forza
merda!
Milan!
Wave that flag, Mario!
Campione dell'Italia!
Ciao, guys. Ciao, ciao.
So.